NISM is the capacity building initiative of SEBI. We at NISM conduct a wide range of activities at various levels with the objective of improving quality standards in the securities markets. At NISM, we work in five broad areas: long and short term academic programs, certifications for market intermediaries, e learning programs, training programs for working professionals and academia, and various investor education initiatives. Today's webinar topic is Mutual Fund Utilities, Empowering Investors and Mutual Fund Investments. So, for this, we have with us Mr. Ganesh Ram. Ganesh Ram is the MD and CEO of MF Utilities, a platform jointly owned by all AMCs under the aegis of AMFI. With over 20 years of experience in financial services, capital markets, process transformation, and investment banking, he brings deep industry expertise. Prior to MF Utilities, he served as mutual fund business head at BSC Limited. He has also held leadership roles at K Fintech, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch India, and GE Capital, managing key functions across trading operations, middle office, global securities, and loan services across Asia, EMEA, and the USA. So now I would request Ganesh sir to begin with the session.
First of all, thank you so much for having me, NISM and the team. It's been a pleasure to be here. So I think it's a quite detailed introduction about me. So, but before we start, I just have few disclaimers. So I'm not, so me or MFU per se is not an advisor, and we are not here to kind of advise on any funds or whether we need to do investments or not. And this is only awareness webinar on little bit of mutual funds, but also mostly on MF Utilities. It's a very interesting platform which is available in our country and which I don't think is available in any part of the world. So that's the reason the topic has been named as Empowering Investors and Mutual Fund Investment. So we'll talk more about how MFU empowering investors, also the investment mutual fund, so which is secured and simplifying investment. So moving on, as a content, we'll talk about how the Indian mutual fund industry, as of now, a quick glimpse, and about MF Utilities India. What is the system offering MFU does? What is the value proposition investors can expect from a mutual fund point of view? Some of the unique features only available with MFU, which doesn't have any other platform in the country. And how, because the wealth creation is one of the easiest way, a quicker way is to do SIP. Right? So how SIP gets simpler and quicker in MFU? And what is the AI for investors, we'll kind of explain. So from a mutual fund industry landscape or snapshot of Indian mutual fund industry versus the geographical comparison is what you're going to give. If you look at it, is slightly outdated, probably a month or a month old data, but I think it's old enough, good. I think it's as of February, if I'm right. So we have 53 mutual fund companies. We call as AMCs, asset management companies. And how many investors like us we have? We have close to 5.34 crores. I think this has grown to 5.86 lakh crores, if I'm right, as of March. We have 26.12 crores folios, so which means approximately each investor has around 4 to 5 folios in the industry. So from a global point of view, comparing some of those developing nation or much developed nation, how the mutual fund industry is there versus India, it's going to be quite interesting statistics if you look at. If you look at the way India is $1 trillion, so that the bar talks about the $1 trillion, the measurement. So if you look at US mutual fund AUM is at around $31.39 US trillion dollars versus India is not even as $1 trillion. Okay, so there's a lot of things to catch up. Very interesting thing is smaller countries than us, which is Australia and Japan, has more AUM or mutual fund coverage than India. So with the kind of population or the variety of investors we have, so we still have a lot of things to be done from a mutual fund point of view. But this is kind of just to give you where our industry stands today and globally with some of those matured mutual fund industry. So where we are. So we have a lot of things to catch up. Still, our I think the tax paying population is around 43 crores or 44 crores, but out of that 44 crores, I think only 5.34 crores of investors invest in mutual fund. Okay, it doesn't matter how much you invest, but even if so, we have a minimum of even 10 rupees to start with on a daily basis. But whether do we invest or not? Okay, that's where it is. Next slide about MFU. Okay, so this probably I'll spend more time. It's a very unique model. So first of all, MFU is MF Utilities India, which is a company owned by all and managed by all the mutual fund companies in India. So we have 53 mutual fund companies, which I told you. So all the 53 mutual fund companies are the equal equity shareholders of MFU. So it's like owned by the industry. So and MFU is also a AMFI. AMFI is the Association of Mutual Funds in India. We are also executive member of AMFI, like all other 53 AMCs, and we are also a SEBI regulated entity. It's not like we are a third party entity. It's owned and managed by all the mutual fund companies in India. It's a executive member of AMFI and it's a SEBI regulated entity. So why I'm stressing on this is because there is a lot of apps, platforms, or new text which coming in where people use and the data is not secure at all. So here in MF Utilities, the investor is kind of dealing with an entity which is owned by the mutual fund, run by the mutual fund, and also a AMFI member and SEBI regulated entity. And fully secured, fully compliant with regulatory and compliance norm, particularly from a data confidentiality point of view or data sharing point of view. MFU has a much more secured, fully compliant, and also all the regulatory and compliance norm. We are the kind of first platform to ensure that we are in compliant on or before the deadline. And the only system in the country today to support all type of investors. So if you are a resident Indian, you are a non-resident Indian, if you are a minor, you are a corporate, you have a trust, you have HF, you are custody, any type of investors you are, MFU has options for you to invest. In fact, on minor point of view, where you can do for your child or as a guardian to anyone who is less than 18 years, we are the only platform to have the digital mode available for minor. Okay, so that's where it supports all type of investors. An MFU platform manages approximately 22% of the MF industry turnover. So every month there is a turnover which gets published. So at most closer to 1/5 or 1/4 of the MF industry turnover, which means the money which comes in and goes out, is managed via MFU. And on top of this, it's a free platform for investors. We don't charge anything for the investor, and we'll continue being a free. That's why regulator wanted this entity or a platform which will be owned by the mutual fund companies and continue to provide first-class services and features free of service for investors and completely end-to-end digital platform or all MF related transactions, be it a financial transaction, be it a non-financial transaction or reports, everything is completely digital. I'll move on. As I told you, all the features and services are offered free for MFU, but which are those entities which can use MFU? If you are a direct investor, so people like you and people who are attending the webinar, you can directly come into MFU, create a login once your account is validated based on your PAN and KYC, and you can start using MFU. If you are a regulator intermediary, if you are a distributor or a investment advisor, or you are a custody, or you are a PMS, or you are a stockbroker, or you are an execution only platform, all those regulated intermediary who does transaction on behalf of their client, they can also use corporates, institutionals, right? So we have corporates like in Adani Group, the entire Reliance Group, Star Group. So all the big corporates used to use MFU to park their money in liquid and overnight fund. And last but not least, any neutral entity, which are some software providers who provide some software for advisors and distributors to perform their work. So any type of intermediary or investors you are, you have option to log into MFU and use it. We have a website which called MFU India portal, and we have a Android app and also a iOS app which people can download and start using it. From a transaction point of view, we have a manual entry where people can log in and do the entry, and we have bulk upload where you have multiple transactions. You can just create an Excel sheet and upload, and we also have API, so which any tech team will want to connect. What is the value proposition for investors like us, okay, including me? First of all, it's a one-stop shop for investor right from your KYC. If you are a new customer to the mutual fund industry, you need to have KYC validated. So, or if you are an existing customer, if there is a modification you need to do, all type of, or you want to do some changes in your KYC, we offer right from KYC, which is the first step of getting into mutual funds. All unique features, holdings, statements. So it's a one-stop shop for investors who want to invest and experience in mutual funds. Okay. Investor data protection, I spoke about earlier. It's very, very important. I think India is getting the DPDP Act and a lot of other regulation which is coming in to see how we can protect the investor data. And particularly in the digital world, it's extremely critical for people to ensure that data, the app or the platform they use, which has a very secure and compliant data protection firewalls. So MFU, as a regulated entity, we follow whatever the regulator has prescribed. Addition to that, as it's a industry owned, mutual fund industry owned platform, we ensure that the data of the investor remains with us, and at any point of time, none of this data, without a proper consent of the investor, is shared with any third party. Okay, that's very important. Even our app, if you look at a lot of other apps where you download, it will ask for to read your SMS, read your contacts. So we have progressive app which doesn't have that feature. So we ensure that your data which you have in your phone remains with you. Even OTP reading or any other SMS reading, we don't do. Scalable IT infra, we have a much, much larger server and database capacity to manage the volume for the entire India, okay, which is very critical. So your availability of system becomes 24/7. High service standards, we have a 12 hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. calling and email, WhatsApp, Telegram services, including Saturdays. Where investors and distributors or advisors can use. End-to-end digital experience, absolutely no paperwork unless there is something which is regulatory driven. Completely digital experience, be it a financial transaction or non-financial transaction or any service request. Platform availability, which is very important. MFU portal is available 24/7. So at any point of time, investor want to do any transaction or verify his or his holdings or raise a complaint, it's available. So it becomes a much more compelling reason for investors to use a platform which is so much secured, compiled, and have complete digital experience, and also owned by the mutual fund industry. So their data, everything is secured. Some of the unique features, when I say unique features, these are the features only available in MFU as a platform. None of other platforms in India or any apps have. First one is a CAN. So we have something called a very unique concept called common account number, which is called CAN, which is a universal identification for all invested folios. So if you today as an investor have 50 folios across, just for a hypothetical example, we have 53 mutual fund companies. See, there is an investor who have folios are invested in each of those 53 AMC, and we have folios. Once you open a CAN number with MFU, all these 53 folios will get attached to the scan number, and you can able to see, modify, transact all your folios in one single place. So imagine if you are done 10 years before some transaction also, based on your profile, which is your CAN number, which is a PAN number, your tax status, mode of holding, even the investment which you have done earlier will also get attached. So you can able to see all your investments, that holding of those investment at a single place. You don't need to go and log in into multiple websites or apps. KYC, we have a KYC which an investor can do, which is a DIY, do it yourself, or we have assisted mode also. Assisted mode is something which is a trademark for us. So where we have the option for a distributor or advisor to do the KYC, like it does for the financial transaction or non-financial transaction. And you as an investor just put your Aadhaar number, get a OTP and approve. Existing folio-based transaction, in case if you want to do a urgent redemption, or you don't want to open a CAN number, which I told in the first point. If you know your existing folio, you can log in NFU, put the folio number and do transaction. It's as simple as that. You don't need to open a CAN also. In case if you have existing folio-based transaction done anywhere in the industry, even through paper-based, you can use that folio number and do a transaction. Generate complete investor unit holding. As I told earlier, once you open a CAN number, all your investment across the industry, irrespective of which AMC you invested, which mode you invested, we will able to generate this and show it to you what is the current unit holding you have and what is the current value. So you can able to take investment decision based on trigger-based transaction, which is very unique. So imagine if you have, particularly in the market today, right? So where there is a war and there is a lot of um, uh, uncertainties. Okay, the market is going very volatile. So if you want to, and you are in need of money, or you have some money, you want to invest, but you're not sure. So imagine if you want to say Sensex, I think, let's take NAV. It's better. No, I don't know how Sensex is actually so volatile. Imagine if you have an investment in a fund where the NAV is 50 rupees. You want to say, boss, once this 50 becomes 60 rupees, I want to withdraw. So you can put a condition in NFU saying that once on a daily basis when the NAV gets declared by the mutual fund company, our system gets updated. And you can tell that system saying that once the NAV touches 60, do a redemption for me with how much amount. So whenever that event happens, probably it happens a day or a month after a year, so the system will automatically do the transaction. You don't need to wait for that event to happen. Okay. And you don't need to panically go through every day, look at how the NAV has gone up or gone down. So you're telling system to do certain things based on the NAV and indices, which I don't think any other platform has. Schedule transaction. Imagine if you want to schedule a transaction for a future date. So, for example, most of the employees who work in corporates do their tax planning and invest in ELSS schemes in March for tax saving. So you don't need to wait for March. You can probably schedule a transaction in March once you know when you're going to get bonus and how much you're going to get, and schedule a transaction to a specific date and approve it today, right? So a day before you will get a notification saying that this transaction is going to get executed. You can able to cancel that also, but the transaction will be scheduled for the future date. Be it's going to be a purchase or it's going to be redemption or it's going to be a switch. And you can also top up this and downsize. If you have put for 10,000, you can within 24 hours you can increase it to 20,000 or you can reduce it to 5,000. So all those things you can tell the system, and system will able to do based on your instructions. SIMCOM, another beautiful concept we have, which none of the platform has. We have a centralized complaint module. So irrespective of wherever you have done transaction in the mutual fund industry, you are probably doing it in say BSE or you're doing it in some website or you're doing it in one of the RTAs. If you want to manage all your queries, compliance as a single module, you can log into MFU and start using this complaint module. One is, you just need a folio number to manage this. Second, this complaint module is used by all the 53 AMCs and both the RT. So you can able to tag. So imagine if you have a query with say HDFC mutual fund, you can log in here, tag that HDFC mutual fund and raise a complaint. No more email junket of sending the email, whether you want to get a reply. Here only the mutual fund will reply, and in case the mutual fund doesn't reply with the timeline, there is the escalation matrix also, and you can reassign that. So all those things can be done. So it's much more efficient for an investor who doesn't want to unnecessarily spend time on sending email and following up and to see where their complaints are. irrespective of whatever compliance it is, or it could be issue or it could be query. Last but not least, for those investors who have a registered investment advisor, RIA, SIP regulated RIA, we also given a fee collect module. So instead of you paying the RIA directly for the investment advice he or she is giving, you can come here and then set up the fee and pay via this. So it's much more secured. So there is a track record or a log of whatever amount you have paid to the RIA for the investment advice. So there are quite a few, but I thought no, these are probably no 6 or 7 um, very important, unique features which every investor should take advantage of, which is not available in any other platform. Moving on, I think the entire industry talks about SIP, right? So obviously, if you look at today, also I think SIP's book size has grown beyond 32,000 crores. So which is obviously on a growth trajectory. So in MFU, we made SIPs much simpler for you. Okay, so why? How? One is completely a seamless digital onboarding. No paperwork, nothing to be uploaded. As simple as that. Login, create a login for you. Just start doing the SIP completely digital. AMC agnostic. So once you log into MFU, the entire mutual fund industry is open for you. All the 53 AMCs are available at your disposal. You can select which AMC, which scheme you want to invest. And as I told you earlier, we don't advise. We are not an advisory company. We are owned by all the mutual funds. So we don't advise which AMC you need to do, which AMC gives you better and all. But all the AMC are available based on your wish, or based on your statistics or interest, or based on your advisor interest. You can able to choose which AMC. So we don't promote any specific AMC based on any other criteria. One mandate, multiple SIPs. You can register one mandate, which is your e-mandate, using your Aadhaar or using your net banking or using your debit card. Or very simply, you can create a mandate using your UPI. Much more simpler. It just take a minute for you, and you can approve that UPI mandate from any of your PSP app. You have Google Pay or you have Paytm or you have Phone Pay. So only one mandate you register and you can invest as much of SIPs across in a single click. Same day SIP start, you can register SIP today and you can even start SIP today. You don't need to kind of wait. Some platforms offer you SIP after 3 days or 5 days. You don't need to do that. You can just start your SIP journey instantly once you register a SIP. Last but not least, you have option to pause and cancel. We are the only platform to probably offer you. If you want to stop your SIP, say for 3 months, you're still really worried about war and it's bleeding, you say, boss, I don't stop. Okay, you can stop permanently. You can cancel it, or you can pause it for, if it's going to be a daily SIP, you can pause it for 4 days, or if you want to do a 3 month stop, then you want to resume, all those things you can do. So you are one of the platform where we have a very simple SIP journey where investors can take advantage and quickly do it. So I always talk about AA for investors, irrespective of whatever people do. I think people should. There are three AAs. One is always invest. I think I'll just give you a few statistics. I think one of the statistics which I don't know how many students we have today compared to US, particularly if you actually combine US and Europe together, the student population or younger generation population, okay, probably from 18 years, um, six or at most 72% of the teenagers or student population in combined of Americas and Europe invest in mutual fund, and in India it's not even 3%. I think my only request to whoever is attending this or your relatives or friends, mutual fund is such a good product, more transparent, and it creates value. Okay, so you should kind of ask people like me who are investors for long, or there could be multiple people in the industry or even attending this call. Always invest. Okay, and particularly in mutual fund, once the market is down, if you can able to invest more, then one market ups, there will be a compounding impact, and you will always be able to create wealth. Okay, never stop and start as early as possible. apps invested. So today in the digital world, there is multiple apps. I also keep seeing a lot of these reels, apps, platforms saying that no, start mutual fund, use it. I think they should be very careful in the digital world which apps they invest. Okay, you can just easily download an app. I just recently used one app, or somebody kind of told me, you just log into that system, put your phone number, and they fetch all your details. Okay, without your proper consent. So it's much more convenient, but it's much more scary, right? So your data is the wealth for that entity which is fetching your details. So the I not done that, but no, I kind of saw that demo where you put your mobile number, including your email ID, including your current investments, your PAN number, bank account, everything comes out. Okay, so you need to be extremely careful in this digital world as advice as an investor and a responsible person in the industry. I would kind of tell people to see which apps you invest and what is the background of those apps and how they use the data and which is the consent you are giving to share that data with them. Okay, that is very, very important. Assets inspection. Okay, so another AI. You have invested. I've seen a lot of people, they just invest and then forget. Or they don't even look at how the assets are performing, what is the value it's giving, what is the CAGR, what is the return it's giving, whether it's if somebody is investing for a student's loan or somebody is going to invest for a specific goal, whether it has been achieved. And particularly, I see this as a habit. People just put the money and then say, "Okay, team was that's fine." Never do that. Always at least a monthly once, or at least even a quarterly once. I think you should kind of log in or generate a report and inspect. So that's where MFU makes much more sense because you can able to see all your investment and the current value of that holding at a single place. So always invest, early to invest, stay invest. What are the apps you invest is very important. Then asset inspection. You need to always inspect, monitor your assets on a periodic basis. If you are advisor, if you have advisor, well and good. Else, if you are a direct investor, in spite of whether you have advisor or not, I think it's always advisable to see how your assets are performing. Okay, that's it. I really had, but we have more time. Probably I'm 15 minutes early, but I'm open to kind of take any questions, and then once that is done, Sahil, probably we can do a Q&A.
Yes, sir. So I think so now we can do a poll as well,
Yeah,
means by which you can understand the attendees. So yes, I'm launching first poll. Yes, done. So sir, until that time, I think you can touch upon the key takeaways or session highlight that attendees can easily recall and reflect on later, something.
sure. Yeah,
Yes.
see, this is only a very initial session. There is a lot of people who do what is mutual funds, what are the type of mutual fund, uh, what are the different terms, acronyms, and mutual fund. We consciously thought those a lot of people do. We actually want to little bit give you how mutual fund industry in India is and talk about most about our platform. And we are a very non-profit oriented entity owned by the mutual fund. So we want to kind of have investors to use a platform like MFU where they can get benefited significantly. So the key takeaway is, as I told, I think you should start investing in mutual fund as simple as 10 rupees every day. If you actually go to MFU India website, you will get a pop-up where you can start a daily SIP of minimum of 10 rupees. Okay, I think even a tea costs 20 rupees today. So you can start much lesser than that. A 10 rupees daily SIP, okay, through your UPI mandate. So start investing and then start exploring apps like MFU. Stay invested and monitor your investments. Uh, don't panic. I've been an investor for long, so I almost 20 years. I know the significance of staying invested. And if you have friends or family members or younger generation of people, please encourage them to start. A minimum 10 rupees, as I told you, or 100 rupees is even a month will help them. Over the period of time, they can uh, enhance that or they can add more. And the other important thing about mutual funds is much more transparent. You can able to see the value. So I'll just give you one example that if you are investing in a say FD, in a bank, which I think you should do as a part of asset allocation. You once you invested say 10,000, you go to the bank manager and tell him, boss, where this can you just show me where this 10,000 has been invested? They're not able to tell you, right? But in mutual fund, you can able to see that. Okay, in which company they have invested and which entity they have invested, how that entity is doing. And another few things which is very important for mutual fund is you can set in India invest in global companies. You can invest in gold and silver ETFs. So no other product offers such a range of. You have products which is having real estate. You have products which where through which you can be one of the indirect shareholder of Alphabet, Tesla, Microsoft, all global companies, and you can also invest in commodities, metals like silver, gold, and all. So it's a very interesting product. So my only request and takeaway is no, please become a mutual fund investor. It's much more easier to invest and stay invested. Uh, and then let's kind of create wealth because the more investors joining in mutual fund, it really benefits our economy also. So that's where I'll just summarize. And in case if people want more details, more questions on how to kind of invest, how to do KYC, how to do an SIP, we are much more happier to do a mini series on each of those. You just let NISM know what kind of requirements you have, and we'll be much more happier to deliver this for you. That's it, Mr. Sahil.
Yes, so I am sharing the results for the first poll. Yes, done. So I'm launching the second poll. Yes. So, sir, attendees have started asking their questions in Q&A, so I think you can accordingly address those questions as well.
So, okay, hold on. So I need to look at in the chat. Okay.
In Q&A, sir.
In Q&A.
Yes.
So the first question is somebody is asking something about SAF. Yeah, Specialized Investment Fund is a new category of fund which has been launched. Is available in MFU, and the minimum requirement is 10 lakhs. If you are a non-accredited investor, so there is specification to become an accredited investor based on your net worth and all. So if you are an accredited investor, you can invest less than 10 lakhs. If you're a non-accredited investor, you can need to invest 10 lakhs plus. And but to answer your question, it's a very interesting. It's a product between a lot of people say it's a product between AIF, PMS, and mutual fund, but I don't think it's a very unique product. If people have risk appetite and they have money to invest, there's certain things which is unique in SIF, so the fund manager gets more freedom, and there's a lot of relaxation the regulator has given for the mutual fund company or the fund manager. In that way, we have all the SIF which has been launched in the industry in MFU as a separate category. You can use that, and a lot of data is also available, which you can use to see whether you want to invest. Is there any detailed training of MFU platform? Yes. We have every week a basic and advanced training session. If you can able to reach out, so I don't know, so I'll probably will give that number to you. I don't know if you can flash that. So, or you can go to our website, sir. There is details available. You can fill up this, and our team will call you back. So there is a training which is happening. Okay. Please provide practical guidance on creating a can. Absolutely, yes, sir. We will definitely. There are some videos which is also available in our YouTube channel. You can go to our website and redirect to YouTube. And if you need much more specific thing, you please let us know. And there is a call center also you can call. How to take a LTGC statement from the platform? Sir, unfortunately, we don't have a LTGC statement available from platform. For that, you need to go either to CAMS or KFIN or to RTA. Because they're the bookkeeper or all the agencies. Can I invest in all funds once I logged in, or I need to give my credentials? No, sir. Don't need to give any credentials multiple times. One time you need to verify your PAN and bank account. I'll just quickly tell you how it happens. You need to come to our platform portal, put your PAN number. With that, we know whether you are existing or new investor. Accordingly, we'll guide you. Then we'll ask you to enter all your details. Will be authenticated and your bank account need to be entered. The moment you put your bank account, online will drop 1 rupee your bank account, which is called penny drop. So we'll do all the validations and give you a login. The once you log in, that's it. So no more login required. All the funds, be it mutual fund or SIF, SIP, SWP, everything is open for you. You can just do as per your preference or convenience. I'm existing AMFI registered distributor and a channel partner for our service provider which provides MFD even. Absolutely, yes, sir. You can definitely use it, and we have a sub broker model also. So as I told to other gentlemen who are here, please come to our platform. There is the details you can fill in. Our team will promptly assist you. You can definitely use our platform. Do I need to do a KYC with each? Not required, sir. Once it is done in MFU, you can do it across all mutual funds. Not required to do multiple times. One payment also. Even if you want to invest in 50 different mutual funds with one single payment also, it's allowed. KYC from where we can do easily KYC, give you some hits, sir. Please refer to our website. All details are there. And if you still don't find it, there is a form. Please fill up, or there is a number which is there. We'll help you. It's a completely online mode only. We don't have any physical form. So we stopped it probably a couple of years before. I logged in yesterday. I received a remapping email of one number reason behind joint holder mismatch with sign there. Sir, actually, a mutual fund use the sign which is there in the KRA, which is the KYC database. We also use the same signature. In case if you want to match it or want to change the signature, you need to go to the KRA, which is CVL camps and all, and change your signature and give a form to them. So once the KYC agency has changed the signature, automatically the data flows to us and we'll update our database. Please add a tab containing docs, new update, knowledge series. Sure, sir, definitely. We'll definitely do that. What are the different pay modes? All payment modes are available other than checks, sir. NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, UPI, UPI autopay, which is a mandate, net banking, e-mandate, all modes are available. KYC of LLP can also be done. Yes, sir, absolutely yes. Corporates also can be done. I didn't upload any. Sir, I think from a KRA point of view, I don't think they have it online. I think you need to do in physical, submit this form to any one of the KRA, if I'm right. But if you can able to go to our website and send an email, we'll try to definitely help you. Almost all the questions are answered. So sorry, there's one question. Can we register a partnership firm or LLP? Yes, sir. We can definitely do. Based on partnership firms or LLP, based on the partners, we need to do the KYC. Our team will definitely help you. Definitely help. Do we have a bank mandate to debit card? Yes, sir. We have a bank mandate using debit card, net banking, and Aadhaar. And once your SIP is one mandate registered, you can use it across all 53 AMCs. No restriction. Sir, for getting a real-time NAV, you can use NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, which is instant, or you can use UPI also. Our back office support details are all there in our website. You can go to MFU India and you can find all the details. Yeah, Mr. Sahil, I'm done with all the questions.
Okay, sir. So I'm launching the two remaining polls, that is third and fourth. So he has to participate, and at last we will launch a set of feedback questions. So there is one question from Ayushi in Q&A.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
The back office number uh, there in our website. Hold on, let me kind of tell you that. Yeah. So I have just responded. Can you explain the trigger-based transaction? Okay. Trigger-based transaction is, say, imagine if you have invested in any fund or you're not invested in any fund, the NAV of that fund. So let's talk about Mirai Global Equity Fund, for example. So the NAV as of today, as on 10th April, say it's 50 rupees for a single unit, right? You already have an investment and you want to withdraw some amount, but you don't want to withdraw now because of the war and other volatility. The NAV has dropped down. So you want to withdraw the money once the NAV reaches, say, 55 rupees, right? But you're not sure when it will happen. So you can create one transaction in MFU, selecting that fund, putting these conditions saying that if the NAV of that fund, which is 50 as on 10th April, becomes 55 at any day, okay, in the near future or long future, redeem so much amount or redeem the entire units or whatever unit is. You can just submit that, approve the transaction. So whenever on a daily basis, whenever the NAV gets done, and say imagine after 3.5 months, the NAV of that fund becomes 55. So your redemption request will be automatically processed by the system. This is not only for your redemption, you can do purchase, you can do SWP and STP also. Just giving an instruction to the system. Or if you want to do, and so imagine if you have a scheme which is mostly on a banking side, right? And the indices is in Nifty Bank 50, right? For example, so or Bank 20. Uh, so you can just put that indices, saying the indices of Bank 50 is, say, imagine today it's say around 8,000. You say, boss, once this become 8,500, I want to withdraw. That also you can do. So you can give instruction to the system saying that based on this event, based on the NAV going up or down, or indices going up or down, you can use it. So there's a maximum limit of mandates for debit cards. Sir, there is no debit card. Yeah, bank mandate maximum is 1 crore. One time every presentation. There's the RBI limit of 1 crore. Different pay modes, sir, as I told you, all pay modes are available other than check. How this differs from other platform, that's what I explained, sir. So a lot of unique features. It's a non-profit oriented company owned by all the mutual funds. Have a lot of unique features for investors. So if you ask me again to present, it will take probably another 1 hour. But yeah, you can attend our session also. Yes, you can invest in NFO also. All the NFO. In fact, we have a separate NFO module in MFU where you also can able to see what is the NFO about and what is the key details of the NFO, so you can choose to invest or not. Is there also an option to execute purchase in a scheme? Yes, absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Automatically, once the scheme master gets changed, our system automatically gets changed. So automatically, you can able to invest the money in the global funds. So all the questions are done. Sorry.
Yes. Let me see if we are still remaining with or not. Any question?
I'm actually giving another number. Um, Customer service number people can use. Yes, sir, you can change of bank in years mode. Yes, you can do.
So yes, now I have launched a feedback question. You can feel free to participate in these feedback question polls. Means these responses will be kept private and used to improve your experience. This will help us also understand the kind of content you are interested, and so that we can bring more topics that match your preferences.
There's a
Also,
question from Prajwal. Does MFU give fund session? No, sir, we don't do. You need to have your own session, or you need to take a distributor or advisory session. As we are owned by the mutual funds, we don't give any sessions or we don't promote any specific schemes.
yes, so do participate in these feedback poll questions. So I think so we can wait for a couple of minutes, more minutes, and then I think we can conclude our session. If Also, I'm requesting IT team to open the chat section for attendees so they can type in the subject or the webinar topic which they all want to be done by NISM. So yes. Yes, so chat is open for you all. You all can type in whichever topic or means you all want to be done. Yes, I can see attendees have already started typing in chat section. So do all type and share your suggestion related to the topics. So there is one more question from Pankaj in Q&A.
Yeah, sure. How to use platforms step by step for various transactions? Sure, sir. You can actually go to our YouTube channel, which is also available by our website. And there you have all the snippet videos of opening account number and other details. alternately you can attend our training sessions also. And if you still need something, I given the contact details, you can just reach out to them and they will arrange for a session if required.
S- So yes, I think now we can conclude our session. As I can see, there are no questions remaining in Q&A. Also, Mohammed is thanking, means is appreciating your webinar for
Thank you,
giving
Mr.
such.
Mohammed. I really appreciate. Thanks. Thanks for staying there and asking questions and finding it useful.
Yes, sir. So I think now we can conclude our session. Also, we have noted down means all the chat section or the topics which they are typing in. Yes, so thank you so much, sir. Would like to
Thank you so
extend
much.
a heartfelt
Yeah.
thanks for your time and your knowledge which you have shared with us. Also, thank you to all the attendees who joined today's webinar. Yes, so thank you again, sir. Thank you for sharing your time
Thank you.
with
Thank
us.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining today's webinar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now I request IT team to close the session.